It was and is a total pleasure. I turned up, we'd only run into each other once between the film or doing press for the film and the start of working on Juror number 2. It was a brief moment on a dance floor. So when we saw each other, I was having a hair and makeup fitting before starting filming, and Nick had completed his day and came in to say hi. And I was sitting down and he was standing up. He is very tall. So that was the first thing. I was like, how did you become this?
Because you were sitting down.
No, it's because you are very tall. How tall are you?
I'm about 6'2", 3".
Yeah, that's pretty tall. But just getting to know him again as an adult, as a beautiful man, as a decent soul, like a gorgeous, talented human. It was just incredible. And our very, very first scene was the last scene in the movie. And there's so much that happens, and watching him, and I'm literally, that's what all I have to do in the scene, really. I'm watching you take everything in and contemplating every outcome. And I could see it in his face, and I could feel it. I could feel it in his energy. And I still felt so kind of maternally proud of him as an actor. And maybe that will always be the case, but he's certainly evolved, obviously, as a human, but as a talent, I was blown away from the very beginning of this experience of making the movie.
Thanks. First of all, I had the best experience working with Toni on About a Boy, because she really did take care of me and set a wonderful example, and is just an incredible human being to be around. And then in the intermittent years between making that movie and this one, I've just been like, we didn't really stay in touch because you didn't keep in touch with me. I'm joking. But from afar, I've then just my knowledge of cinema and watching more things and watching Toni in so many things in those years in between, I've just been obviously blown away by how incredible she is as an actress. So then I was just so excited when they said that you were going to be playing this part, because I was like, oh my gosh, first of all, that's someone who I know made me feel safe and happy and took care of me. But then also someone now who I know from an adult perspective, I'm like, oh my gosh, is also an incredible artist who I get to now be in scenes with and work with and learn from again. And more than that, it's like Toni's just this wonderful spirit to get to know her as an adult, and to watch how she travels through life and is with people, and how honest and true she is to herself. It's inspiring to be around, and she just brings so much joy with her everywhere that I'm like, oh, I just want to keep being around her and be in scenes with her and enjoy that. But then also in life, just keep getting to spend time with her because she makes me feel happy and good. It's weird talking about it today. I stood in the corridor earlier talking about, a Clint Eastwood movie premiering tonight that we're in. And I really did. I had to kind of take a deep breath and talk to myself for a second. I was like, I think I might cry, because this is such a momentous moment in terms of, I love films. And so getting to watch so many of his films throughout the years that he's acting in or directing, and just been blown away by his performances, but also by his craft, his approach to cinema, what the stories he's told, it's iconic in every single way. So then to get a phone call to be like, Clint wants you to be in one of his movies. First of all, I was like, there must be a mistake. There must be, he must have seen someone else in something else and got my name mixed up somehow.
Oh my God, you're
terrible. I was like, well, this is just unbelievable. And then it was everything I could possibly have dreamed of in terms of, yes, the creative process, all the things you hear about his way of 1 or 2 takes, very easygoing and accepting and just trusting the story, the cast and crew around him, the process, just being like, this is what it is, just let it go. Learning from that, but then also seeing how he is as a person as well, the light he brings into a room, his cheeky smile, the glint in his eye, his sense of humor, his way of being as a human. He's obviously experienced so much and has so much knowledge, but then he's egoless in his approach to everything, even though he's crafted so much wonderful work, and he just really makes you feel at ease in a wonderful way. So yeah, I couldn't have had a better experience or more wonderful things to say about him.
I don't know how I could add to that. I mean, I'm still overwhelmed that he, out of the blue, chose to work with me. I mean, he could work with anyone. I can't believe I've had this incredible experience with an absolute living legend of cinema. I got the call about the job when I was driving my daughter to soccer in Sydney, and my dad, who loves Clint, was sitting in the back. We screamed the car down. People must have been like, what's going on in that car? And my dad, I had my arm like twisted to the back seat, holding each other's hands so tightly. He used to watch him in Rawhide when he was a kid, you know. And that's the thing, Clint's career and the people that he's connected with spans decades and so many different people and different walks of life because of his own experience. Like I don't know if I know anyone as old and experienced and a big life, not a small life, a big, generous life. And he brings that generosity still to the people he's sharing the filmmaking process with. It is, use the word ease. He creates such ease and such a sense of trust and support. And it just feels like a humble experience where you're just searching for pockets of truth. And the fact that he believes in you makes you believe in yourself. And you're surrounded by a cast and crew who are so incredibly talented. I just still pinch myself. And it will forever be a highlight, I think, of this career I seem to have stumbled into.